2 of our jumping series, we're gonna go over the 2 types of jumps. Jumping is awesome. Jumping is amazing for increasing your athleticism and your power potential, and it's great at teaching you how to be under control so that you can control your athleticism. And we're going to cover the 2 major types of jumps. There are variations off of those, but let's be clear. There's 2 types of jumps. Broad jump, which is jumping forward, and a vertical jump, which is jumping straight up. You could say, well, what about a long jump? Well, essentially a long jump, when you're running and jumping, is a version of a broad jump. A box jump is a version of a vertical jump. You can add twists onto both of those, making it a twisting jump, but you're still doing the basis of, or the basics of, broad jump or a vertical jump, okay? Most of the time when you're just talking, a box jump just becomes jumps. Vertical jump is the major version, the most popular version, so those just be called jumps. So most of the time people would say, hey, we're going to do jumps, and you jump up and down. Broad jumps are labeled as broad jumps because they're just not as common, let's say. All right, so the first thing you have to understand, if you remember from day 1, is landing is where injuries happen or are more likely to happen. So learning how to land safely, smoothly, athletically, and 4th, learning how to land so that you're ready to make your next move. Remember, if you're doing box jumps just to be more powerful and it's part of your training, but you don't play sports, there's nothing wrong with that. However, if you're an athlete and you're training box jumps for increasing your power, increasing your athleticism, you should be landing ready to make athletic plays, okay? Case in point, if I do a vertical jump right here and I land and my feet are off, am I ready to make an athletic play? Part of what you need to understand with jumping is land balanced so that your next step could be athletic. Same with broad jump. If I broad jump, I need to be able to move so I land and I practice my landing athletic. I don't want to land with my knees so high that I'm essentially into this position, which is just explosive hip flexion, which isn't real vertical power. It's not athletic in nature. It's more of a test of your flexibility. So getting a box jump as high as you can and having to land it in this position, although impressive on social media, is not a true measure of vertical power, okay? You can land the box jump, but it's not a true measure. It's impressive, not true measure, okay? You should be able to land above all that hip flex position, knee flex position too. You want to be able to land athletic, so which means you should be landing on ideal box height at around this position, okay? Broad jump, you should be landing at around this position, okay? So from the side, you should be landing at around this position. There are slight, very slight, and it's an initial quick landing position for the 2 exercises. With a vertical jump, we tend to land slightly toe to heel. With a broad jump, it's reversed, where we kind of land heel to toe. Although we're landing almost initially at the exact same time, there is that slight rock forward with vertical or with broad jump, and there's a slight rock backwards with vertical. So toe to heel most of the time. When we go up forward onto a box jump, we have a little bit of a heel to toe because of the forward movement. So a box jump would actually partially be a combined vertical broad jump, okay? That's why box jumps are the #1 version of jumping. It is nice to have a target as well. A lot of times when we're just jumping, we don't necessarily enjoy that because we don't have this sense of accomplishment as getting up on the box. That's why a lot of times we want to measure our vertical. It's that sense of accomplishment that helps us drive to work hard to get better and better. Okay? But let's get back on point. Vertical jumping is about hips being explosive with arm swings going up. Broad jump is still explosive, but it's about driving forward, and it has a greater degree of knee explosiveness because you're here. You're rocked forward a little bit more than on your vertical. So when I broad jump forward, I'm really going to be exploding forward off of my ankles and driving my hips more explosively forward. So a kettlebell swing would be great for replicating that, okay? Power squats of a quarter squat version would be great for increasing our vertical jump, which is why quarter squats are great for explosive power for sports like basketball, because you're going to increase your vertical. So broad jump, driving hips forward. Vertical, we're still getting that hip hinge, but we're driving upward with it. More of an angle upward. All right? Two differences. Forward versus angled upward. All right? Landing, still trying to land like a ninja. Arms, we're still getting our arms initiating, which will help to drive the hips. So remember, we initiate with arm swing, which then leads to hip movement. So small, soft, slow movements of the arms leads to soft, slow, small movements of the hip. So think powerful and powerful with both of those movements, and your movements become more powerful. All right? Adding twists. Either of these jumps, whether it be vertical or broad, can add a twist component. However, that is a very advanced movement as a matter of safety, because a lot of people, as they want to get farther, they're going to do and rotate first before their feet have even left the ground, which puts you at a risk of injury. So you actually leave the ground and then learn to twist your hips, which then twists your body. So advanced movement where you're under control, you know how to jump, you know how to coordinate the series of movements that are involved, you know how to land safely, then and only then can you start adding like vertical twist jumps, vertical broad jump, or twist broad jumps, vertical twist jumps, because you have to learn all the prerequisites beforehand before you risk knee injury because of the desire to kind of twist before you leave the ground. So, two types of jumps, vertical, broad, both are amazing, both serve an athletic purpose. Learning how to control yourself can help you become more powerful with each. Jumping should be in the program of athletic sports like volleyball, basketball, football, soccer, because you're going to jump and head a lot of balls, get up higher for more chest balls. Okay? Explosive power for sports with quick bursts like softball and baseball can also benefit from power application of jumping. So, well-rounded, great exercise, but now you know a little bit more how to incorporate broad and vertical jumps into your programs and do it safely. That's all I have for today. I'm Spencer Aiken with the Stronger Together Performance Academy. You guys go out, be awesome, and be amazing.